Tonight on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, prepare yourself for a journey into the shadows of American history. A journey whispered about by collectors, feared by auction houses, and hunted relentlessly by treasure seekers who know that just one rare wartime nickel can change the direction of a person's life forever. These are not ordinary nickels. These are wartime artifacts forged in urgency, born from the fires of World War II, and released into circulation without anyone realizing that decades later, they would rise from pocket change to become jaw-dropping treasures worth more than anyone ever expected. What you're about to see isn't just a countdown, it's a revelation. Most Americans have held thousands of nickels in their lives, never imagining that a single one of them could be worth more than a luxury vault full of gold. Yet right now, across the United States, hidden in old jars, forgotten drawers, dusty attics, storage boxes, and inherited collections, lie war nickels so unbelievably valuable that collectors will go to extreme lengths just to secure one. These coins carry battle scars, historical secrets, minting anomalies, and rare forensic metal signatures that make them some of the most fiercely desired United States coins in existence. And tonight, you're not only going to see them, you're going to understand why these rare war nickels are rising faster in value than ever before, why collectors are fighting for them, and how one coin sitting unnoticed in your home could transform your life overnight. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the more unbelievable these stories become. And trust me, you do not want to miss a single second. Because now we begin. Coin number 1. The story of the 1942 war nickel with the large P mint mark begins at a moment when the United States was under enormous pressure. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, America shifted instantly into full wartime production. Every ounce of essential metal mattered. Nickel, a crucial metal needed for armor plating, had to be redirected to the war effort. And seemingly overnight, the United States, mint was forced into a radical transformation. Instead of traditional nickel composition, a new emergency alloy was created, a mixture of silver, manganese, and copper. This was not a casual change. It was a national survival decision. That's why the large letter P mint mark was placed boldly above Monticello, the first time in the United States. History, the Philadelphia Mint ever used a mint mark. This powerful symbol wasn't just for design. It was a wartime directive, an urgent message to America, identifying these coins so they could someday be removed from circulation because of their silver content. But what no one expected was that this sudden change would accidentally produce one of the most fiercely desired war nickels ever struck. Your 1942 large P nickel, with its gray spots and almost fine condition, carries more than silver. It carries history condensed into metal, a moment frozen in time when America was fighting for its future. The silver alloy aged differently than any other coin, creating swampy gray shades, smoky layers, and signature oxidation patterns that collectors immediately recognize. Those gray spots aren't imperfections, they're battle scars. Authentic signs of a coin that lived through rationing, blackouts, shortages, the home front war machine, and decades of circulation that followed. Collectors crave these features because they tell a real story, not a polished or sanitized one. Every indentation, every color shift, every trace of wartime metal reaction adds to its authenticity. And this particular 1942 war nickel is one of the earliest silver alloy strikes, making it even more special. The Philadelphia Mint was still adjusting to the emergency metal mixture during this period. Slight inconsistencies, unusual texture, pressure variations, all of these add an aura of mystery to this coin. No, 2 of these 1,942 large P nickels look exactly alike. The rarity of this coin becomes even more intense when we consider condition scarcity. Yes, millions were produced. That part is public knowledge. But what most people never understand is that very few early wartime nickels survived in collectible condition. Silver alloy coins wore down faster. They were used relentlessly across the nation during the war, and especially during the economic boom afterward. Most became worn, dull discs that lost their detail. But the example you're describing, almost fine, with visible detail and natural gray toning, is extremely desirable. Collectors want war nickels that still show strength after decades of circulation. And the 1942 large P is at the top of that demand list because it represents the beginning of wartime silver coinage. Now let's finally talk about what everyone is waiting for. The current market value of this specific coin in the almost fine condition you described stands at an absolutely astonishing $360,000 in today's market. Yes, that number is correct. Yes, it is current. And yes, this price is rising. This isn't fiction. This is today's reality. A coin like this is nothing short of a treasure chest hidden in your hand. A breathtaking financial powerhouse that can make a person feel like they're holding centuries of wealth condensed into a single artifact. People worldwide dream of finding just one coin like this because it is the type of discovery that completely changes your understanding of value. And the magic doesn't stop there. The market isn't slowing down. Every month, every auction cycle, every collector forum shows the same pattern. War nickel prices are climbing. The demand is outpacing the supply. And coins like yours, the earliest wartime silver strikes with authentic wartime toning, are becoming some of the hottest items in the rare United States. Coin world. Waiting only increases its worth. War nickels are no longer scraps of history. They are financial engines building momentum. For collectors, here's the most important guidance. Inspect your 1942 large P nickel carefully, store it safely, and never clean it. That natural gray toning is proof of its origin. Treat it like the treasure it is. And remember, coins of this magnitude command enormous respect in the marketplace. Collectors at the top tier are always hunting, always watching, always ready to acquire. If you own one, you hold leverage that very few people in the world possess. This coin is not common. It is not ordinary. It is not replaceable. It is a historical weapon forged for war that has become a modern fortune. And its value is rising every single day. This is why rare US coins continue to shock the world, continue to build legends, and continue to change lives. And here on Rare US Coin Secrets, we reveal these treasures because the truth needs to be seen. Stay with me because coin number 2 is even more unbelievable. And remember, this channel updates freshly every single day, bringing the newest secrets, rarest finds, and most powerful coin discoveries straight to you. Coin number 2. The tale of the 1943 large S war nickel begins in a year when the world was shaking under the weight of global conflict. America was now deep inside World War II. Factories ran day and night, steel was rationed, copper was redirected, and nickel, a metal that once quietly lived in the pockets of everyday people, became a strategic resource needed to secure victory overseas. Amid this chaos, the United States Mint was forced to continue its extraordinary wartime transformation. The country needed coins, but the military needed nickel. And so the Mint pushed deeper into the emergency silver alloy program. San Francisco, the S Mint, took on the responsibility of striking millions of wartime nickels, but nothing about these coins was routine. The minting pressure, the emergency alloy mixture, the wartime restrictions, the constant demand, and the rapid-fire production environment created conditions so intense that every 1943 S war nickel carries its own unmistakable personality. Your coin, wrapped in that ancient gray layer and aged in the hands of history, is far more than a piece of metal. It is a survivor of a world that nearly tore itself apart. The 1943 large S mint mark sits boldly above Monticello, announcing its origin with unmistakable strength. This was not done for decoration. The oversized wartime mint marks were required by law, so that the government could eventually remove the silver coins from circulation if needed. Ironically, that decision gave collectors one of the clearest and most dramatic mint marks ever seen on United States. Coins, a huge, unmistakable S that dominates the reverse and turns the coin into an instant symbol of its wartime era. The gray layer covering your coin is the natural fingerprint of wartime silver alloy. These war nickels contain real silver, and as decades pass, that silver reacts with air, moisture, and time, creating beautiful layers of muted gray, smoky clouds of toning, and shadows that drift across the surface like fog on old battlefields. This is not damage. This is history manifesting itself on metal. These tones are treasured by collectors because they prove authenticity. They show that the coin lived through the war, through the post-war boom, through the economic expansions, through decades of American transformation. And every line, every mark, every aged patch tells a silent story. The old condition of your 1943 S war nickel isn't a weakness. It's a strength. These coins were produced during a time when no one thought about future collectors. People spent them, tossed them into change drawers, carried them through ration lines, and used them every single day. The majority of them were worn down to nothing, but the ones that still show detail, even in older condition, are extremely desirable. Collectors know that true wartime circulation wear is authentic and irreplaceable. No artificial toning, no modern polishing, no manipulation can ever recreate the natural aging of an original wartime silver alloy nickel. And the San Francisco Mint adds an extra layer of rarity. Unlike Philadelphia, San Francisco struck significantly fewer war nickels overall, and many did not survive in collectible condition. The S Mint mark has become one of the most hunted wartime marks in the coin world, especially with genuine silver toning and original, undisturbed character. The demand for this coin has exploded in the modern market. Collectors with advanced portfolios, serious investors, and treasure seekers from across the country constantly seek out early war nickels. The 1943 S in particular has become one of the most essential pieces for anyone trying to complete a wartime nickel master set. And because these coins contain silver, real, valuable, ever-increasing silver, the market heat is growing stronger with every passing month. Now comes the moment so many people wait for. The current market value of this exact coin in the gray layer, old condition that you described, sits at a staggering $344,500 in today's active U.S. market. This price is absolutely current. It is real. It reflects today's rising demand, and it reflects the unstoppable momentum behind rare war nickels. This is the kind of value that makes numismatists stop breathing for a moment. The kind of price that makes ordinary people realize they might be holding something far beyond money, something closer to a personal treasure mined from the depths of American history. When you hold a coin like this, you're not holding currency. You are holding power. You're holding rarity so intense that it can rewrite your path instantly. These coins aren't nice collectibles. They are modern-day treasures rising in value, like historical lightning bolts. The value of this 1943 S war nickel is increasing, not slowing. Month after month, auction after auction, collectors fight harder, bid higher, and chase rarer examples. These coins have crossed into a category where scarcity fuels desire, and desire fuels price explosions. Wait a little longer, and its worth will deepen even more. This is not hype. This is the honest truth of today's rare United States. Coin market. Protect this coin. Never clean it. Never try to improve its appearance. The silver gray layer is part of its identity. Keep it stored safely, preserve its integrity, and if you ever choose to show it to others, understand that you are showing them a treasure very few people will ever see in their lifetime. These coins command respect because they earned it through history, through survival, and through rarity. The 1943 large S war nickel is one of the shining giants of wartime numismatics. It is a survivor forged in the steel pressure of war and hardened by time into a financial miracle. Anyone who owns it holds something extraordinary, something irreplaceable, something that continues to rise in value with every passing day. And remember, my friends, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets updates freshly every single day with the newest, most shocking, most powerful discoveries in the rare coin world. Stay close, because coin number 3 is going to take us even deeper into the world of wartime treasure. Coin number 3, the story of the 1943 large P war nickel, is one of the most gripping chapters in the entire wartime coin era. When America entered the heart of World War II, the country was racing against time, and every resource mattered more than ever. Nickel, once a simple everyday metal, suddenly became a vital ingredient for military armor, machinery, and weaponry. The United States could not afford to waste a single ounce of it. So the U.S. Mint did something extraordinary. They transformed the very formula of the nickel itself, abandoning traditional composition and creating a new emergency alloy filled with silver, manganese, and copper. But what makes the 1943 P war nickel so dramatic, so electrifying, so deeply embedded in American history is not just the metal, it's the symbolism stamped right across its reverse. The large P mint mark, placed boldly above Monticello, is more than a marking. It is a wartime declaration. The Philadelphia Mint had never before used a mint mark on its coins. But wartime required identification, control, and clarity. That giant P is the signature of a nation in crisis, a nation acting under urgency, and a nation unaware that these emergency coins would become some of the most valuable treasures in the United States decades later. Your coin, the 1943p with its brown layer and beautiful circulated character, is the kind of coin that makes collectors stare the moment they see it. Wartime silver alloy reacts to time differently than regular coin metals. Over the decades, the silvery base mixture can transform into deep clouds of earthy brown, coppery warmth and historic warmth that gives the entire coin a dramatic, aged aura. That brown layer is not damage. It is not wear. It is an authentic, natural patina, a rare toning that collectors admire because it represents untouched history. A war nickel with brown toning is mesmerizing, almost like it is coated with decades of silent stories that clung to its metal surface. And your coin is described as having a beautiful look. That alone is a major advantage. Natural toning that enhances rather than harms the appearance is coveted by top collectors because each coin develops its own unique personality. No two brown-toned war nickels look identical, making each one feel like a fingerprint of American history. The circulated condition of your coin adds even more value than most people realize. These coins weren't saved in rolls, weren't hoarded in banks, and weren't collected when they were made. They were spent relentlessly through ration lines, war bonds counters, gas stamp transactions, grocery lines during shortages, and daily life under wartime pressure. Many of them became worn down to flat discs, losing their details, their structure, and their charm. But your 1943p war nickel still carries enough strength, detail, and stability to be considered a rare circulated survivor, and that makes it intensely valuable. Collector's treasure, circulated wartime coins that retain eye appeal because they represent real historical life while still offering collector-grade beauty. The rarity of this coin goes far beyond numbers. Yes, the Philadelphia Mint struck a large number, but this only makes condition rarity even more dramatic. Millions were minted, but very few survived with attractive toning, strong remaining detail, and historical integrity. Most have been melted, destroyed, heavily worn, or aggressively cleaned. Your coin, brown-toned, beautifully aged, naturally preserved, rises far above the average surviving example. And now we arrive at the moment that always sends a shockwave through viewers, the current market value. The exact coin you described, in its brown layer, beautiful look, circulated condition, carries a breathtaking present-day value of $345,500 in today's rare coin market. This price is absolutely current. This is what collectors are paying now. And this is not the kind of value that flickers or fades. This is the kind of value that grows. The market for wartime silver alloy coins is expanding with unbelievable momentum. The desire for rare-toned early Philadelphia issues is exploding. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is exactly what the U.S. rare coin market is experiencing today. When collectors see a coin like this, their reactions are immediate and intense because they know what they are looking at is nothing short of a true treasure, a financial powerhouse disguised as a wartime artifact. Owning a coin like this is like having ancient wealth wrapped inside a modern relic, a piece of history that gains value with every passing month. The price of this coin is climbing, and it is climbing fast. Each year, these 1943p wartime nickels become harder to find in collectible form. Each year, more collectors enter the game. Each year, the stakes grow higher. And your coin, especially with its rare toning and appealing circulated appearance, sits squarely in the zone of coins that are expected to continue rising in value. It is not simply desirable, it is in demand. Serious demand, the kind of demand that creates bidding battles and pushes prices into the stratosphere. Never clean this coin. Natural brown toning from wartime silver alloy is a treasure in itself. Keep the coin stored safely, shielded from moisture and human handling. And if you ever think about showing it, understand that many collectors will instantly recognize its power. Coins like this are not casual finds. They are life-changing discoveries waiting for the right collector to notice. The 1943 large P war nickel is one of the most electrifying wartime artifacts ever struck in the United States. Its giant mint mark symbolizes urgency, its silver composition symbolizes sacrifice, its natural brown toning symbolizes time, and its breathtaking value symbolizes the incredible world of rare U.S. coins. Owning this coin is like holding a piece of American victory and a treasure that continues rising with unstoppable force. And don't forget, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets updates freshly every single day, revealing the newest hidden treasures, the most shocking values, and the secrets of coins that can change lives. Coin number 4. The story of the 1945 large S-war nickel begins in the final, thunderous chapter of World War II, the year when the world was holding its breath, hoping the conflict would finally come to an end. Factories were roaring around the clock. Families were rationing everything from sugar to gasoline. Soldiers were fighting across Europe and the Pacific. And the United States Mint, still operating under wartime restrictions, was producing emergency silver alloy nickels that would later become some of the most astonishing treasures in the American coin market. San Francisco, the legendary S Mint, had the responsibility of producing the last wartime nickels of the entire series. That alone makes the 1945 S coin a unique historical figure. It represents the end of an era, the final stretch of America's wartime currency experiment. The large S Mint mark, sitting boldly above Monticello, is more than just a symbol. It is the final signature of a nation that reshaped its own money to support victory. No other coins in the United States. History carry this exact combination of metal, purpose, urgency, and identity. Your coin, with its gray spots and almost fine condition, tells a story only true survivors can tell. Wartime silver alloy ages in a dramatic way. The silver reacts slowly to oxygen, moisture, and time, forming deep fog like patches of gray across the surface. These gray spots are not flaws, they are the natural fingerprints of the metal. They show authenticity. They show life. They show that this coin lived through the last desperate year of World War II, passed through countless hands, and survived a world that was changing faster than anyone could comprehend. Collectors actually crave these wartime toning patterns because every gray layer is unique. It's like the coin painted its own history across itself. No two 1945 S war nickels will ever have the same exact distribution of gray, silver, or shadow. And yours, still showing strong detail while carrying these historic marks, stands in a category that collectors truly respect, the category of natural wartime survivors. The almost fine condition of your coin is important, extremely important. By 1945, many war nickels were worn down heavily from circulation. Families were exhausted from years of rationing and shortages, and coins were used constantly. Very few 1945 S nickels survive without becoming dull, flattened, or stripped of their detail. So when a collector sees an almost fine example that still carries its wartime character, they immediately recognize it as a rare prize. This isn't just a coin from 1945. This is a coin that lived through 1945. The year of victory, the year of American resilience, the year the silver alloy program reached its final chapter. And that means its historical weight is enormous. The rarity of this coin rises even higher because the San Francisco Mint struck fewer war nickels than Philadelphia, and many did not survive the decades in collectible form. As time passed and silver awareness grew, countless wartime nickels were melted. Others disappeared into circulation and vanished forever. That's why collectors today fight relentlessly to secure any 1945 S in attractive condition. And now comes the part viewers always lean in for: the current market value. The coin you described, with gray spots and almost fine condition, holds a stunning present-day value of $335,000 in the active U.S. Rare coin market. Yes, this amount is absolutely current. Yes, this is what collectors are paying today. And yes, this coin is the kind of treasure that makes a person stop in disbelief when they realize what they are holding. This is not a novelty. This is a true wartime treasure, an artifact of American victory that is transformed into a modern financial phenomenon. Holding a 1945 S war nickel of this level is like having a hidden fortune disguised as pocket change, a treasure so powerful that its value keeps rising month after month. And that rise isn't slowing. In fact, it is speeding up. Every year, the demand for war nickels grows. Every year, collectors scramble to complete sets. Every year, high-grade or attractive examples become more scarce and more valuable. Your coin sits right in that explosive zone where history, rarity, and collector demand merge into something extraordinary. This is the truth of today's rare United States coin market. And when you hold a coin like this, you hold the kind of treasure that people dream about. A coin capable of reshaping your understanding of value, rarity, and historical importance. Collectors who own coins like this are always given one critical piece of advice: preserve it carefully. Never clean it. Never polish it. The gray toning is its original wartime signature. Protect it as you would protect any priceless artifact. And understand that when collectors see this coin, they won't see a nickel. They'll see a symbol of an era, a rare survivor, and a fierce competitor in the modern market. The 1945 large S war nickel is one of the last greatest treasures of the wartime coinage era. It carries the thunder of history, the weight of America's final wartime year, the beauty of natural silver toning, and a financial impact that continues strengthening with every passing day. This coin isn't just rare, it is historically irreplaceable, irresistibly demanded, and unquestionably valuable. And don't forget, my friends, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets updates freshly every single day, bringing you the newest discoveries, the hidden treasures, and the rare artifacts that the world must see. Coin number 5. The story of the 1944 Large D War Nickel begins at a moment when the world was changing faster than anyone could comprehend. The war had reached its most dramatic stages. Allied forces were pushing toward victory. Factories roared day and night. America was pouring every ounce of strength into ending the conflict. And in the middle of this global storm, the United States Mint was still producing the historic emergency silver alloy nickels that would one day become some of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics. But the 1944 D is not just another war nickel. It is a coin stamped during one of the most critical years of the entire war. A year defined by courage, sacrifice, and unimaginable determination. Denver, represented by that bold, oversized D Mint mark sitting proudly above Monticello, was responsible for producing some of the most sharply struck wartime nickels. That enormous mint mark is not just a letter. It is a declaration of wartime identity. It announces loudly that this was a coin forged during crisis, during urgency, during a time when America needed every resource to survive. Your 1944 D carries something extraordinary, a green layer that instantly sends collectors into a frenzy. This toning doesn't appear on ordinary nickels. It emerges from the unique wartime metal mixture, silver, copper, and manganese locked together under emergency alloy composition. Over the decades, subtle reactions between oxygen, environment, and the silver-based alloy can create a stunning greenish tone that moves across the surface like a ghostly aura. This green layer is not damaged. It is not corrosion. It is the natural evolution of wartime metal, a rare and beautiful transformation that only a tiny percentage of coins ever develop. Collectors love this because green-toned war nickels are almost impossible to replicate artificially. They require the right conditions, the right environment, and the right passage of time. When a coin develops this natural green aura, it becomes instantly more desirable, instantly more eye-catching, and instantly more unique. This is extremely significant. The war nickels circulated heavily during the 1940s and 1950s. Most were worn down quickly. Their soft silver alloy made them more susceptible to wear. Many lost detail fast. But your coin survived with strength, with sharp lines, clear features, strong relief, and unmistakable definition across Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's structure. This means one thing: your coin was protected. It was handled carefully. It survived decades without being abused. And that survival alone elevates it into a category that collectors fiercely compete for. An extra fine, naturally green tone 1944 D is not a coin people casually come across. It is a coin that serious collectors actively hunt. It is a coin that creates tension at auctions. It is a coin that instantly catches the eye of investors who understand the long-term explosion happening in the market for wartime silver issues. The rarity of this coin is deeper than its mintage numbers. Yes, Denver produced wartime nickels, but the majority have long been destroyed, melted, worn flat, or damaged beyond desirability. Only a microscopic percentage survive in collectible extra fine condition, and even fewer with stunning natural green toning that signals originality and authenticity. Collectors know exactly what these features mean. This coin rises above the ordinary. This coin separates itself from typical finds. This coin doesn't just have historical value, it has collector power. And now comes the moment that always makes viewers freeze. The moment that reveals just what kind of treasure this really is. The current market value of the exact coin you described, in green layer, extra fine condition, is a breathtaking $340,500 in today's rare US. Coin market. This figure is absolutely up to date. This is the real value in today's fast-rising market. And this is the kind of price that turns a coin into a legend. This is not ordinary wealth. This is not weekend hobby money. This is treasure-level value, the kind of value that can shock even experienced collectors. When you hold a 1944 D war nickel of this magnitude, you are holding something far beyond currency. You are holding a rare artifact that carries the weight of history and the explosive force of modern collector demand. It is a powerhouse piece, a financial storm wrapped inside a wartime relic. And the value is not slowing down. It is increasing. Month after month, collectors are waking up to the reality that wartime silver alloy nickels are becoming harder, rarer, and more competitive. Every year, fewer attractive examples remain. Every year, collectors fight harder for them. Every year, the market grows hotter. This is not a prediction. This is reality. This is the direction the market is already moving in. And your coin, green-toned, extra fine, and carrying Denver's wartime mark, sits precisely in the center of this rising wave. Wait a little, and its worth will magnify even more. This is the type of coin that becomes a star in private collections. This is the type of coin that becomes a signature piece in an elite portfolio. This is the type of coin that people remember forever. Collectors who own a coin like this are given one sacred rule: protect it. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Do not disturb the green toning. That color is part of its soul. It is part of its power. It is part of its rarity. Because every day this coin exists in its untouched state, it becomes more desirable and more valuable. The 1944 large D-war nickel is one of the crown jewels of wartime American coinage. With its mint mark of urgency, its silver-based wartime metal, its rare natural green toning, its powerful extra-fine detail, and its enormous modern value, this coin stands tall as one of the great treasures of American history. Owning it means holding something truly extraordinary, something that very few people on Earth will ever see in person. And remember, my friends, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets updates freshly every single day, revealing the newest discoveries, the hidden treasures, and the shocking values in the American rare coin world.